Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I'd like to welcome you to episode 35 of Doodlegems. This episode we're going to be doing a little amethyst heart on a cut and folded paper angel. It can be used for a lot of different things. I'll tell you more about it when we get started. Let's get going. All right guys, so we're going to get started here and I want to show you real quick what we're going to be doing. This was my sample that I had come up with and I liked it, but I didn't really like the way these wings ended up. So I found a way to make these little cut wings. Now this is a really super simple project. We're going to be working with a template. I hand drew it and then took it into Photoshop and laid it up 4 up on one sheet. So you can print this out on cardstock and it will make it really easy to work on making angels. And so what I'm going to do real quick here, cut this part out, just to make it easier to work on. I'm going to have just a single piece. And if you look at this, or I'll take this apart because I'll show you how easy it is. Look at that. It is just like that. I made it a little bit bigger because I wanted a little bit bigger angel than what this one made. But if you look, you're just cutting out anything that's gray. And you're cutting on the lines here. That's it. And then it will go together, just bringing it around and bringing those 2 slots together. And that adjusts your angel in the front. There you go. Pretty easy, pretty easy. So what I want to do though is get my amethyst drawn on here. I want to get my amethyst drawn on here. And anything that is in line with the head is going to be in the front. Just a very, very light line. That will help you keep things balanced. I'd rather work on it when it's this way in more paper, just so that it's easier to hold on to. And I won't be drawing on anything up here on the top of the wings. Those I'm basically ignoring. So this is an amethyst heart. And by having that center line, I can get a relatively balanced heart sketched on here. I want to make sure that I don't have any pencil lines on the inside of my heart. And I am going to go ahead and sketch my doodle on first with my pen. I'm using a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen this time. It is the size S. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heart in. Now, this is a sweet, simple project. If you ever made paper plate angels when you were little, you know how to do this. This is just like the old style paper plate angels. And I really enjoy them. Now, if you're going to make this into a place card, something that you want to set at different people's table settings, and let me grab this. You can put their name on the bottom. Just like this. Or you can put a little saying, or you can put anything right there. Anything that's along this edge right here is going to show up in the front. I'll show you what I mean by that. See, I'm taking that one apart now. See? Anything along this edge right here, centered up under your center parts, is going to show up. So I want this angel to have the word peace So I'm putting my word in. Before I put my doodle. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want my doodle to work its way around my words. I don't want the doodle to end up going over my words. And I don't want to have to try and figure out where these words are going afterwards, because I might take up so much room with my doodle that I wouldn't be able to get it in. I'm just doing some swirls, and there's going to be that pretty teardrop leaf that I like. And let's see, maybe a swirl coming up out of the stem. Basically what I'm doing is making myself a little coloring sheet. If you wanted to, you could do up, before you've cut them out, do up your doodle, figure out where you want your words to be, or if you're going to be putting people's names, and just make a box right here so that you keep yourself some space to put your words or your names, and then take the whole thing and photocopy onto cardstock. You're able to then sit in your comfy chair with your colored pencils and your scissors. Watch your favorite shows and just make whole garlands of angels if you want. And this is just getting a few more of these little leaves, like another little stem coming out. And I'll do that on this side also. This is a quick and easy project, so you don't have to spend too much time getting it ready. I think I want to make my letters a little bit fancier. So I'm just thickening up some of the lines. Like that. Easy. And if I wanted to, I could color those parts in dark. I could color them with colors, or I could just leave them black and white. So now we're going to go ahead and get that amethyst put in. And to do the amethyst, I will be using my indigo blue, the lilac, and the mulberry. These three colors, and white. And I'm not going to use a colorless blender this time. I'll be using the white as my blending. But I do want to erase that pencil line off while I'm thinking about it. Because if you erase those lines while you're thinking about them, you don't realize later that you forgot to erase the pencil line. So I know that on my amethyst, it's got some light down here at the bottom. And there's going to be a little bit of highlighting in here. So I'm doing some random patches. This amethyst that I'm doing is not a crystal clear amethyst. It has some patches of white in it. It has some spots of darker purple. Now I'm taking that lilac and I'm just going to sort of dust over those spaces where the white is and let the paper grab the color where the white isn't. So we're ending up with this real pretty, just sort of mottled tones. amethyst has so many different varieties and variations. And you can have amethyst that is almost just a baby pink, like a rose quartz, but that isn't, because chemically it's not. But chemically it is, because it's all quartz. And it's just the different elements that are in it that changes the colors. And now I'm going to add this mulberry to it. And I love that sort of pinky tone that it gives. I'm just dusting the colors in. This is a gentle, peaceful stone. It doesn't sit there and flash out like a diamond. It's just calm. Just a sweet, gentle stone. Now I'm taking that indigo blue and just working around the edges just a little bit to bring in a bit of a shadow. I hope you're enjoying whatever time of year it is for you that you're doing this type of a project. For me right now, it is the end of November when I just needed a break. There was the day of feasting, all of the cooking and things like that I did. And I just needed a little break, quiet time. Coloring gives you that quiet space. So I would really recommend, like I said, do your doodle, do your paper up with all of the templates. Draw one page of 4 templates. Put 4 different designs on your angels. And then make photocopies or scan it and print it on your printer onto cardstock. Then, and print up several sheets. Then you've got coloring sheets with different designs for you to use. I'm going back in with my white because this is not a clear amethyst. This amethyst is a cloudy amethyst. And so I'm using that white as my blender. Just lightly, just lightly. So you basically have a sandwich of color. You've got white underneath. You've got colors on top. And then you have white just skimming over all of the colors. To blend them together to make it soft. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? So now that is basically done. I'm going to do a little bit of, I want to do that little dot in the same type of a stone, but it's a lot faster. I'm just coloring that whole dot in with the white. I'm going to grab that lilac and around the bottom edge do the lilac. Around the top edge, leaving a white spot, do the mulberry and pull the mulberry down around into the lilac. Then grab that indigo blue to give just the tiniest little hint of shadow. And the white one more time to sort of swirl it all together. Just blend those colors together. Now if you go into that indigo blue, it's going to pull up some into your other colors. And I like that because it just sort of unifies it all together. And there you are. You have an amethyst heart with an amethyst dot. And now I'm going to quickly go in and do the leaves. And these leaves are really fast. What I'm doing here is I am putting in my Chartreuse as the highlight. And I'm saying that this, just down from the tips of each of the leaves, these leaves are bending. And in this bend, the leaf is higher up. And where the leaf is higher up, you're going to have a highlight. And so I'm just going to quickly put those in. Nice thing about it, these are not gems and they do not have to be blended out so smoothly. So there you go. Now I am going to grab the Limepeel. Basically what I've done is I've grabbed 3 colors of green, a dark, a medium, and a bright. The medium color I'm taking out on the tips and blending it down into that Chartreuse just a tiny bit. Because the tips are tipping away from you, so they're just slightly darker. But they're not your darkest area. The darkest area I am going to do in with the marine green or any dark green. And that is going to go in down below the Chartreuse, closer to where the leaves attach to the stem. And that will blend up into the Chartreuse also. And you see how we're getting that sweet little curve showing up on the leaf. If you're enjoying this video, I hope that you will click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed, and leave me a comment and let me know if you like this. Oops, I see that I missed the tip of one of these. If you like this, or if you didn't, I really want to know what you think. I really want to know if you have any ideas or suggestions of things that you would like to see. I'm already starting to plan out next year's videos. So if there's something specific that you want, do you want more coloring? Do you want more coloring sheets and then coloring? I love showing how to draw different things. And we're not always on the Doodle Gems. Look at that. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of this dark in some of those swirls where there's a space, but not completely, because I want to put a bit of this. Yeah, I want to put a bit of the Limepeel in here too. Not quite as bright as the Chartreuse, but there. So now we have this all penciled in or colored in. And I don't think I even want to put the gel pen on it. I like it this way. I like it a little bit softer. So now we're going to cut it out. And cutting out everything that is gray. So I'm just going to cut right along these edges. If it bothers you that the gray shows up, you can always print this out a lot lighter, or you can trace the design onto your paper with a different type of transfer medium. So I I'm trying to concentrate on cutting as close to my edges as I can. You don't have to put the little feathery bits in. You can redraw this so it has just so that it's just the circle going all the way around. But I like having those little feathery bits showing up. And there, now you can see how I'm trimming just on the edge of that gray and leaving just the tiniest bit of that white against the edge of the gray. So that way I am not leaving any gray on the wing, or I'm leaving very little gray on the wing. Now this is easier if you use smaller scissors. So I think I'm going to grab the smaller scissors. So I just grab some kid scissors because they're smaller. And I have small hands, and so I can use these kid scissors pretty easily. So you see here, this is the trickiest bit, right around the head. You don't want your head to get cut off, so you need to just be a little bit careful. You can trim it smaller. It doesn't have to be as big. And after I have this sort of rough cut out, you could use an X-Acto knife, a craft knife, to trim this out. But I was thinking, some people don't have craft knives. And I wanted to show that you could do it with a pair of scissors also. It just takes a little bit of time. And I want to trim off that gray. That just makes my slot a little bit bigger, makes it a little bit easier. You just want the head to be round. You don't want it to be a square. There. And then this slot here is going to get trimmed also. There you go. So you have 2 slots. This angel is so easy. I'm going to flip it this way so you can see. I am taking and crossing the wing. Okay? I'm taking a hold of the skirt and bending it so that the slot on the left meets up with the slot on the right. And doing that, it takes a little bit of bending, a little bit of finesse. Come on, there we go. See, everybody has a little bit of trouble with this the first time they fold it. And then just push it down just a little bit. Don't crease the skirt, just folding it down just a little bit. You see how those slots are slotted together? Right there. How the slots are slotted together. That's where the wings just slip into each other. You could put a piece of tape on the back if you wanted to. You don't have to. And to hang it, what I've done is I have taken a button and threaded a string through, a piece of ribbon through this button, the 2 legs going through, and tied off in a knot, like that. Then you can fold that, and there's this hole right up here. You see? This space right here, right behind the head, there's a hole. And you can take and drop the ribbon right down through that hole. So now you can hang your little angel. A pretty little angel ornament that could be used, like I said before, as place cards, as a little gift to give to your Secret Santa. Something that doesn't cost hardly any money. It makes it a lot of fun to share. And angels are not just Christmas. Angels, I believe, there's angels all over the place, and they're not here just at Christmas time. I believe that you are all angels also, and that I thank you so much for this wonderful year that we've had together so far, and I look forward to next year and all of the fun projects and the joy that I can bring you and the joy that you bring to me every single day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, leave me a comment, and let me know what you thought. And go out and do something creative. Take care. Bye-bye.